Hey guys, I'm here with the Deco version 2, and it is absolutely fantastic, just like the version 1. It adds two cool features, at least that I wanted it for. The first being a stereo mono switch on the back, so you don't have to open up the pedal to switch the stereo input and mono input. So that's really cool. That makes it very versatile where I can have it in the chain without having to deal with it. And the second feature is the cassette style voicing for the tape saturation. And the cassette style voicing on the saturation side adds a automatic level control of what a high-end tape deck would have, like a Nakamichi Dragon or possibly like a Yamaha multi-track deck. So that's really cool. One of my favorite features of the Deco is that it is a true stereo pedal. So if you throw a stereo effect in the front of it, especially one with a lot of separation like the Dig, it absolutely sounds fantastic, especially when you use through-zero flanging. Otherwise, the pedal is pretty much the same as the original. It does have USB MIDI capability. It has MIDI over TRS as well, if those are features you want. It could be very useful if you're using it as a DAW send effect, so that's something to look out for. But yeah, otherwise the tone and overall sound is the same. You do now have a tone control of the tape saturation on the front of the pedal. You don't have to use the alternate controls to get to the low and high cut or contour controls. This still has the low contour, I believe. It is a secondary control, but the tone's good enough for what I use it for. And since it's in the front, I use it a lot more. I'm just going to go over some of the cool things that I like to use it for, and these are kind of some tips and tricks. The first thing you heard in the opening is to throw something stereo in front of it and then use it in sum or invert mode, and then have it into, through zero flanging at the time for the lag. So we'll just put up some attack there. Alright, and then we'll add my stereo effect. And that's in invert mode. You get those dropouts and it sounds gorgeous. But now if you add it into sum mode, you get a more traditional flanging sound. We could slow it down. So yeah, we can turn the blend all the way up and then you get vibrato and you can tell the stereo separation still exists, thus proving it is a true stereo pedal. And that tape vibrato style sound is really great, especially with the new voicing on the tape saturation if you use cassette style. I think that sounds absolutely wonderful. Let's throw the invert in so you get the dropouts, because you get some phase cancellation when you reach the 0 point. Nope, forgot to turn the blend down. There we go. Now you get that phase cancellation. That's so cool. Now with the tone control, I mean, I can really darken it. Now it sounds like a really broken tape deck. Or a set of tape decks, because we're flanging, right? I think that's one of the coolest things to use the Deco for. It sounds absolutely fantastic after reverb as well to do it like this. Let's actually hear the compression a little bit. I'm going to go to my favorite harp patch. Alright. You can hear it squashing the dynamics. And adding quite a bit of distortion into it, which is really cool. I mean, I can turn it way up. I have this set to studio mode. In studio mode, it has more headroom, so it won't get as distorted, even with line levels. But now let's add the sum mode, and let's make it a chorus. And to do that, we're going to turn up the wobble quite a bit, and we're going to turn up the lag time. And now let's add a stereo field in front of that from a ping pong delay. I'm going to up the time a little. And that's really cool. Let's invert it again. So we get... We don't get much of a dropout there because the wobble's too quick. If we change it down, then we'll get a dropout. Yeah, so that's really cool. And yeah, I absolutely adore it. I mean, I loved the original Deco as well. It just had some UI changes that needed to be made, especially the TRS input jack switching for stereo mono. Now that they fixed that, I'm going to use it a lot more. I ended up selling my version 1 before I got the version 2, so I can't do a side-by-side comparison. But from what I remember, they sound very similar, except for that cassette mode in the tape saturation side. So you're basically paying for some quality of life improvements on the pedal, but you're also getting that tape compression, which is just ace, to say the least. Okay, do I think that the version 2 Deco is worth the extra $80? In my case, I think it is. The cassette style compression on the saturation side is really nice. The added tone knob on the front of it is awesome. And the stereo mono switch being outside of it instead of being inside of it, requiring screws to take apart, is great because it's so much more versatile. I don't have to take apart the pedal to get it to accept a stereo signal anymore. So that's great. The MIDI features will be probably pretty useful in the future for me, so that'll be nice. And the other thing I didn't mention is that the finish on the pedal is a lot more fingerprint resistant than the original. The original was just a fingerprint magnet. I know that's just a nitpicky thing, but yeah. I wish Strymon would have kept this at a $300 pedal instead of the $380, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody out. I will be doing a overview of the Dig version 2, and I'll be doing more of the El Cap version 2. I know I did one with the Volante comparison, but I have some more to add to that. And I'll probably do some more with the Deco for a tips and tricks on it.